So look, before I start this car, this is the Honda Civic Type R. Let's have just a very fast rundown on what I know about it from a sheet here, right? So it's a 2-litre VTEC turbo. Get that? VTEC kicked in, yo. Woo! Power is 310 PS. Give or take, that's about the same in horsepower. Not going to make any difference. Torque is 400 Newton meters. In realistic terms, that's a lot. That's a lot for a petrol. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour is 5.7 seconds. 0 to 60 is something like 5.4, something like that. I think it's probably fairly realistic. It feels about a 5.7, maybe just a marginally bit quicker. Top speed 270 makes a difference about that part. Fuel consumption combined 7.3 litres per 100 kilometers. Lies. Doesn't do that. Fuel consumption combined 38.7 miles per gallon. No, I used half a tank. Ridiculous. More than half a tank doing like 100 kilometers. Ridiculous. CO2 emissions 170 grams. Currently that put the tax somewhere like 500 and something euro per year. And it's red. Very red. Very, very red. It's got red seatbelts as well. Right. This one is a Type R GT, so it contains a GT pack which has satellite navigation, front and rear parking sensors, dual automatic control. You need the GT pack, okay? In this country it's 48,750 euro for a Type R. The GT pack costs 2,200 euro. Boom! Let's get rid of the numbers for a minute, because Honda got murdered because the last Type R was wishy-washy. It was a bit too soft, wasn't enough full-on power. This one goes from being relatively hard to being hard. And when I say hard, I mean it's just like, oh man, it's like someone didn't take the suspension blocks out. It's just ridiculous. I can't see out the back window. Visibility is very poor out the back windows. Now, there you are. There's proper journalism. Proper journalism! It really is! Proper journalism as well. So, I'm doing 95 kilometers an hour. In ferocious sense of thing, it went up to 95 kilometers an hour. Like, boom, we're there. I get it. Cool, right? But I can tell you. Look. Hold on. I'm on the yellow line. There's the cat's eyes. You know how I know that? Because the suspension's so hard, I can tell you the difference in painted and unpainted surfaces on the road. And that's without pressing the plus R button. This thing that turns the dashboard red. The whole car sits up. You get a G-force meter. You get a sort of throttle response meter. You get some other meter that I don't know. I'm telling you, 15, 13, 12% power, 8% power at the moment is all I'm using. You get all that. But right now, my spine is slowly getting broken by the bottom of the car. It's like the hardest suspension setting I've ever known. Every setting in it only serves to make the car harder, not softer. And I get it, this thing is going after a Golf R. I understand that, but I've driven a Golf R, and right now is probably the most uncomfortable I've been in the car for, well, since I've been in race cars. Golf R is the target for this, the Volkswagen Golf R. The Golf R is a spectacular piece of equipment, but only when you're going fast. Golf GTI is far more fun for daily use. But there isn't a GTI of this car. Golf, the Type R, has always been a sort of everyman car, a hot hatch. This isn't really a hot hatch, this is a hot race car. It's a cool race car. It's too hard, Honda. Turn off the transformer, you know, it's just crazy looking, and I love that. But that's where it ends. Looking at it is tremendous. Driving it, oh, I just wish it wasn't so jittery. I wish it wasn't so hard. I wish I could sit down with an engineer and explain what I'm talking about, how this car could be so much better to live with, to enjoy, because it's the pinnacle of engineering, because it makes the world go backwards. The gear shift is fantastic, although I don't like the metal gear now because it's either freezing or roasting. The seat position is really good. The steering is crisp and precise in the corners. The car responds well on the road, although there's a lot of torque steer as you go into the wrong angle on the corner. There's just so much this car does right, and then there's just so much that the car does wrong, and that's, oh, it's so frustrating. I'm not even in the R mode thing. I'm not in that. If I go to R mode, oh, now look at me. This is like painful. Oh. Sorry, Civic. I'd love to say you're brilliant, but I'm totally disappointed. Best looking car in its segment by miles. Best looking interior in its segment by miles. The rest of it is just a race car. You will set the most fantastic lap time down in your track. Go to the Nürburgring, fab. For the rest of the time, it doesn't fit over speed bumps. It tries to break my spine on every possible occasion. Steering's a bit too sharp. There's no off button. I mean, it's either on or full on. There is no in between. It's fabulously flawed. Anyway, if you like this review of a 50 grand Honda Civic Type R, then please hit that like button. Give me a comment down below and share it. And most of all, please, please, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the far side.